What is up, down, and sideways, you beautiful individuals? Welcome back. It is League Unlocked. My name is Eric Flying San Holo, aka Han Solo, on the Millennium Falcon today, as we are doing another big old countdown. We are looking not at just Baron or objective steals, but we are going specifically Smite steals. Now, that can be on Dragon, that can be on Baron, but we're looking at junglers or people with spellbook making the big plays. It's not these wacky level 1 Janet tornadoes or blind Corky rockets, because honestly, yeah, listen, those are amazing and crazy when they happen, but when you're going in with the intention of stealing and you get that straight up 50-50, again, sometimes not 50-50 if somebody else has spellbook, but when it's two junglers going toe-to-toe to flip up usually an entire game over a key objective, that's even more high stakes than me. So we're going in no particular order. We got 9 beautiful Baron / Dragon Smite steals to get through, and we start with one that lesser known region. We're going 2017 LMS, but you've probably seen this play. It's AHQ Mountain doing it against peak Flash Wolves. That's peak Karsa in the jungle, and whew, that is clean. First, he has the kick knockback on multiple members who are trying to zone him out of the Baron pit, and then the absolutely clean Sonic Wave into Ward Dash, into Flashover, into Pixel Perfect Smite range. Look at the health on the Baron as he hops over. They think they can burn it before he gets there, but even with the Syndra Burst, Mountain, the hero who steals the big purple worm, he still ends up dying on the play. But anytime you're doing it against that powerhouse that was Flash Wolves at the time, again, with the top lane and support sitting there, supposed to be the brick wall to zone him away from doing anything, he still is able to get it done. That's still, listen, LMS was peak good times around those different, 2016, 2017. Before we were transitioning into the PCS era, there was still some great high quality competition. Case in point, Mountain popping off there. Now we're going to 2021 Worlds, the finals. D+, then just Damwon Kia versus EDG. And JJ may not be having a good time on EDG these days, but this time he was having a real fun time on Xin Zhao. Down 5k gold. D+ just doesn't want to zone him away from trying to steal the Baron. He gets the little Xin Zhao poke over the wall, and he's able to dash over, which looks absolutely hilarious in slow-mo. But this is with D+ having double smite. Rare case of the Summoner Spellbook going the wrong way. I think it's Showmaker in this play who does it a little bit too early, which then just sets up JJ to kind of have the perfect timing. And when you're not a jungler, you're not as used to these smite timings. You would have hoped that the comms between somebody like Canyon and Showmaker would be so on point and so together that they would have been able to nail that. But obviously, does not end up being the case, and who knows? Maybe Damwon Kia wins the entire World Championship if they get that right, but that's a little bit ridiculous and a sweeping statement, because obviously EDG goes on to win that World Finals. D+ does not get the back-to-back. Back to 2017. We're in the LCK. This is the Peanut Hooney era of SKT, and this is still when Peanut, it was all about his mechanics. It wasn't about him being the general, the leader, the veteran. It was just, this dude is one of the most talented junglers in the world. Case in point, a point-blank flash over an Ashe arrow to then auto smite, steal the Baron. This is with the BBQ Olivers. Remember, shout out, one of the greatest names in LCK history, but he ends up going down here eventually despite Faker's ulti. But look at the pixel perfect flash over right into Smite in one smooth motion. I don't even know how you even sway your mouse across fast enough to be able to do that, but that was absolutely immaculate pixel perfect mechanics coming out of Peanut. And again, we harp on this so many times when we do these different countdown videos. Peanut in 2017 Spring and MSI was the best jungler in the world at that point. He was absolutely unstoppable on SKT, stealing victories that SKT had no business winning. None more obvious than that Baron steal against the BBQ Olivers. Love to see Peanut popping off. One of the most clutch. There's a lot of world finals, by the way, that have these insane steals. We don't have the Guma Varus steal because that ain't Smite. That was the Varus popping off. But if you go back to 2016, Game 3, the 70-minute saga Lord of the Rings level play between Samsung and SKT. You remember it well. This is the first non-Baron play that we're talking about. It is the Elder Dragon. This is like the third one of this game. It looks like it should be easy for Bengi and Faker, but Ambition comes flying in. Also kicks Faker out immediately afterwards to survive, and he does survive. Then Samsung ends up getting Baron, and this is the game-changing. They win the game, basically, off this play. This is with, look, Bengi and Faker trying to combo the Shockwave and the fact that it's against an Elise, who obviously has an Execute plus Smite. The timing isn't right, but the fact that against those two champions of all champions, Ambition is still able to get the steal is the reason why he was number one featured in Rise and looked to as one of the GOATs when it came to veteran shot callers, clutch factor, LCK, Korean players. Absolutely case in point, showcasing it against SKT. They would obviously lose that series in heartbreaking fashion before he got his redemption in 2017, but no business winning that third game, and 70 minutes Samsung absolutely did it. Go back to another World Championship. Another miracle run. This time it was Cloud9. Obviously, they get out of the group of death. No thanks to Dom1 Canyon making plays like this. Look, everybody on C9 is waiting for him to come in. What's the miracle play Canyon's going to do? Well, he's going to hop in, immediately kick out Blabber, and then steal the Baron, pop the Zanyas, almost escape. He does eventually go down, but the timing, this is in contrast to that previous play where they were getting it stolen by them in 2021 in the finals. Before that, the combo of Ghost doing the Misfortune ulti to get the damage so that it gets low enough, because Cloud9 does stop hitting the Baron. They know Canyon is going to come in and go for a steal, so they stop the damage, but they've already done a little bit too much, and then you throw in the Misfortune ulti to get it just low enough. But absolutely disgusting, unfair advantage of just having Canyon as your jungler. He knows exactly the specific play and string of mechanical outplays that he has to do. He gets it done, and of course North America is the one to suffer. But don't worry, because Cloud9 did again get out of groups in that stage, despite losing that matchup to D+. Unfortunately, we got Cloud9 again on here, getting something stolen from them. This is Contracts, though, not Blabber, who's in at the jungler, because we're in 2017. This is when we've honestly made lists of just Smithy's Baron and Dragon steals, and he's here on the Elise against Cloud9 in Game 3. Again, this is a 2v5. They know Smithy's looking to steal. He's just dodging, getting Banshees popped, the Shockwave, and the taunt's going to come in. He dodges it in the repel, comes into the pit, pops the stopwatch, is able to get the Baron low enough with the Elise Bite and Smite. But again, look, Cloud9 knows it's 1700. They're just hovering, not doing damage, but 1700 is too low. He gets down to 360. Contracts doesn't get the Smite, but Cloud9 kind of panic, does hit it with some AoE abilities, which gets it low enough for Smithy to do it. But dodging all those abilities when all 5 members are tunnel visioned on Smithy, trying to make sure that he does not get in the Baron pit, and then proceeding to just do it anyways, he's still the NA GOAT when it comes to securing objectives, and the clutchest, fastest Smite in the West did Smithy have. So big shout out to him, and I think we got another one on here for him to talk about. But we're going another D+. This is a T1 matchup. A lot of these 2021 Worlds, by the way, there were some insane Baron steals. This is rookie 18-year-old owner showing up against the defending world champions on the Lee Sin. He gets headbutted back by Barrel, but it doesn't matter because he flashed Ward Hop, Q's back in to secure the Baron steal. And the reason this one is even more impressive is because T1 completely cleans up the fight afterwards. Not only do they grab the Baron, but none of them die, and they end up getting a full ace and just straight up close out the game. This is, 36 minutes. Yes, they had a bit of a gold lead after this huge fight, but it was very close at this point. Owner's out of frame before he flash Ward Jump Q's in. And again, all these split-second decisions. These are split quantum seconds, attoseconds. We're sub 1 second. A lot of the mechanics and thought process that have to go through here for Owner to be able to get the steal. Obviously, T1 again ends up losing that series, but 18 years old. Owner doing that on the World. I believe that was semifinals that he was matching up against on one, but obviously he's had some incredible lease in place since that inaugural rookie year out of Owner, and he only continues to develop and get even better. I mentioned Xmithy, also on this list again. We got another Dragon one. You know what it is. This is before it was cool to be popping Kindred ulti to deny objectives, but just look at how pixel perfect this Kindred ulti is. As soon as the Smite comes in for MLXG, oh, that's too bad, and it even heals a little bit from his ulti, which right afterwards puts it in perfect Smite range for Xmithy to lock it up as this absolutely insane, whatever it was, 17k gold comeback that CLG eventually does. But let's look at it again. MLXG immediately smites on the ulti, does nothing. The dragon heals up to over 1,000, and then Xmithy gets it. I think he actually smites it when it's pretty low, well below smite range. But either way, we're still saying he clutched it because he did. And again, we're just going to praise him once more. It doesn't matter if you could say maybe Blabber is the jungle GOAT when it comes to the LCS. Some other guys who have been around, but no question, the best objective securing jungler, maybe even in the West, maybe even more than a guy like Yankos, was Xmithy, and there's a reason why he's on this list a couple of times with some of these smites. Last one, we wrap it up with it only makes sense to be doing it with our boy, the GOAT, Mr. Faker on the Rift. Doing it with a little bit of a, well, let's call it spellbook, because you'd say, how can Faker be on here if you're doing smites only? Well, yes, the answer is he did it with the spellbook on Lissandra against Gen G. We're going into 2022 summer, and he first is going to TP in here as he's, I don't know if he was just spawning or got knocked back, but he's behind the Baron pit. He comes right in, instantly gets a kill on Peanut so that he can't even smite, and then it's not a 50-50 because Faker is the only guy with smite. This one's even more impressive because he has the outplay afterwards. Chovy unable to kill him. He's got this Lissandra ulti into stopwatch, into flash. Chovy cannot take him down. He's able to survive, but look at Peanut. He's so low. Gets popped in. Whoop, see you later. Instant smite out of Faker. Absolutely masterclass performance on not just the Lissandra, but how to Demon King 101, because he baits in Chovy afterwards there. He's unable to kill him. He survives for so long, and this, you know, this is the beginning of Gen G taking over the LCK, but that final play out of T1 in the summer split before I think we were getting into playoffs, absolute world class, absolute treat to watch Faker, treat to watch all. We like to meme about the burger flips around Baron, but there's no question it's some of, if not the most exciting plays, are when we're dancing around the third Elder Dragon or the Baron that you know is going to clinch the game, and that, again, split second. You have to just go purely on instinct in a lot of these plays, and that's where the truly world-class players can show up and come through for their teams. And all 9 of the guys who got the steals absolutely did it on this list. Maybe we'll do another list that are just Baron steals in general without the smite, but for now, we're putting respect on that F or D key, whatever camp you come from. But that is it today for League Unlocked. My name is Eric, and thank you to all you beautiful people, as always, for hanging out, and we will catch you on that flippity flip.